Well, some shoppers in Chicago not taking kindly to being barred from stores during police protests that happened on Black Friday. The front page of the Chicago Sun-Times calling it Mag Mile Rage, a reference to Chicago's premier shopping district, the Magnificent Mile, where the protests took place. And here was the cover of the Chicago Tribune. One headline reading, protesters put some out on Black Friday. Others support, but irate shoppers feel wrongly implicated. And Chicago police telling CNN they have arrested 4 people during those protests, brought on by the release of this dash cam video right here. It shows a white police officer fatally shooting a black teenager, firing at him 16 times. Most of the shots came after that teen, Laquan McDonald, was already on the ground. The officer now off the force and charged with first-degree murder. And joining me now is freelance journalist Brandon Smith, who filed a lawsuit to get the Chicago Police Department to release that shooting video. So, Brandon, now I just read you're pushing to get all documents related to this case posted onto the internet. Why do you feel that's so important?
It's a really tough time here in Chicago, and it has been since 1986. The data shows police have killed 1 person per week on average since 1986. That's when I was born. So I think protesters are really upset about that situation and how the leaders here have not really responded in a manner of reform.
And Brandon, you believe that a good step for the city to take would be to tear down and rebuild the Independent Police Review Authority. Why is that?
Well, that agency is tasked with investigating police misconduct here in Chicago, and the agency has found that all but 1 of police-involved shootings in the past 5 or 6 years have been not justified. So, or rather just 1 was not justified. Right. So all of them were justified, but 1, and to a lot of people that doesn't make much sense.
So you don't buy what they're saying, that all of them were justified, but 1? Why is that?
Well, I'm not so sure what I buy. I don't have evidence that any of them are, botched necessarily. But there has been a whistleblower, Lorenzo Davis, who was an investigator for that agency, and he was fired. And he later provided documents to reporters showing that he was asked to change his investigation to find that the police were in the right. So if there are others like him, the investigations are not being done properly.
Well, protesters, we know, are calling for the top city officials, including the mayor, to step down. What's your sense being there in Chicago? Do you think that will actually happen?
It's tough to say. It really comes down to what else comes out in this case. It's gotten national news coverage because there's so much covered up already, and it took so long for the prosecutors to charge this officer with murder. 13 months when there was clear video of what happened there that night. So it's hard to say. There could be more that has been covered up, and we'll know soon. My lawsuit is continuing, and it's seeking more documents in the case, more evidence like video and what happened. We're trying to figure out what happened to the audio on the videos that have been released so far.
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking about that. Brandon Smith, thank you very much.
I'm the leading state sponsor of terrorism.